What's up YouTube? This is Mikel the Entrepreneur coming back with some more entrepreneurial content. Today I'm going to be giving you the 6 steps that you need to take to start your side hustle. We're going to do that right after the intro. I'm an entrepreneur, I'm an entrepreneur. Hey, what? Welcome. If you are new to my channel, please consider subscribing. You can do that by hitting that subscribe button, also banging on the notification bell, so whenever I drop some entrepreneurial content about how to start, manage, or grow your business, you will be notified. You are probably trying to start a side hustle and you just don't know where to start. Well, you've come to the right video. I'm going to be giving you 6 different steps that you need to take right now to start your side hustle. Let's just get some things clear. When you're starting a side hustle, you can't just be out there just slanging whatever product you got or whatever, skills you have and just make money on the side. But if you do want to up your game a little bit, up your hustle IQ, which is the reason why you're on this channel, you do need to do some things. Really what you're doing, honestly, is you're setting up a sole proprietorship. And in the eyes of the law, you're just saying, hey, I am an individual that's making money under this fictitious business name. But I did want to give you guys that quick disclaimer. Also, this is all of the information that you need for California. I'm in Cali, I'm a Cali kid, so the information that I can only give is for California. If you want more information about whatever state or city or wherever you're at in the states, please DM me, or you could drop a comment down below, because I don't mind answering those questions because I can get them for you and I can help you through that process. But most states have a very similar process on how to do this. It's just trying to find, what office or how much the fees are, but typically everything is the same. So let's jump right into it. First step that you need to do to start your side hustle is you need to think of a business name. I talked about this in depth in my 10-day challenge. If you do not know about my 10-day challenge, I will link it up in the cards above. I will also drop a link to that entire playlist down in the description below. There's 3 key things that I think of when I'm thinking of a business name. Number 1, it needs to be original. Number 2, it needs to be unique, and people need to remember it. And then number 3, it needs to be something that is relatable to the industry that you're in. Ideally, you want it to be you want the name to kind of describe what type of business or service that you offer, because then you don't have to double brand or take time to, get people to understand. The next thing that you want to do is, after you thought about your name, is you now want to register it. And the way that you register your name in California is you need to go to your local recorder's office. It's the same place that you go to if you are trying to get a birth certificate, if you're trying to apply for a marriage license. It's going to be that same office. You just need to go in there, be ready to fill out some paperwork, and I will link all that down in the description below. But it is a fictitious business name statement. So essentially you just fill it out. If there's other names, and I highly suggest when you fill out that paperwork, and I'll actually drop a video on this because I think it's important for you guys to see this. I'll put the template down in the description, but also follow this up with a video that's going over in depth how to fill this out. But essentially, you can file for multiple different fictitious business names. So you just want to make sure that all of them are included so that you can then utilize them moving forward. Because one thing that I did my first time getting a fictitious business name, I had just turned 18. I just started my clothing line. What I did is I just put one name, and then 3 or 4 weeks into me actually running the business under that name, I wanted to change it. And so it was something simple, like the name of my clothing line was Treble Clef Clothing, I think it was like Treble Clef, and then I wanted it to be Treble Clef Clothing. I wanted that to be on all of my bank statements, my checks, and things like that, but I didn't have that as a DBA, so I had to go back and redo that. So I think you have 4 to 5 different places where you can actually do different variations. It's really smart to do that. It is additional for you to do that, so just keep that in mind. And you will have to pay the filing fee. So I know in California, in San Diego, you have to pay, I think, $42 to actually do that. It might be less, don't quote me, but I will drop the link down in the description below where it does explain how much it costs for you to actually file that fictitious business name. The next thing that you need to do is you need to apply and acquire your EIN. And just to keep it real simple, this is another topic that I talked about in my 10-day challenge. So instead of you sharing your social security number on W-9 applications when you are doing independent contracting work under your business's name, you can now give them the EIN number, and this is employee identification number. And essentially what that does is it allows for you to collect revenue under that business name. But in addition to that, it's also what you can use to actually hire W-9 employees yourself, or you can actually hire employees yourself. But that's a whole nother thing. You shouldn't have a sole proprietorship if you actually have employees. I think you should take it a step further because you're taking on greater liability. So I think an LLC would be great for you. And I will be dropping a video on how to file and form your LLC very soon. So you need to subscribe to my channel so that when I drop that video, you will know that as well. I also did a video where I did compare sole proprietorship versus an LLC. You can check that out, where I just give the pros and cons to both of them so you can make an informed decision. Please check that out. After you've done that and you got your EIN number, you're good to go. Let me give you a quick tip. You don't need to pay some other third party for that information. You don't need to do it at all. I'm also going to be doing a video in depth on this and how to fill out the application, but essentially you could do it by yourself for free. And if everything goes well, you can actually get that EIN certificate immediately. You get it, it's generated immediately as long as you do it within, I think, the business hours of the IRS. The next thing you want to do is you want to acquire and get all zoning and permits and licenses that you need for the particular business that you're running. Not all businesses are made equal. Some businesses you might have to have multiple licenses to run it. Some businesses you don't have to have any. So it's just really important that you educate yourself. I will leave a link down in the description below where you can go on the SBA website and it'll tell you every single permit and license that you need. The next thing that you want to do is you want to publish your business name. So once you've actually filed for your fictitious business name, it's going to get a stamp on the back, a blue stamp, a real stamp from the actual office, and you should take that. I know I put this later down in the steps, but really it should be something that you do the day of, or don't wait too much time from the time that you actually filed it, because you want to make sure you get that going as soon as possible. But essentially what you need to do is you need to publish it in a regularly circulated publication. So for instance, when you're actually at the clerk's office or recorder's office, they'll give you a printout of all of the different newspapers and things like that on one sheet, and you can choose based off of the pricing. So it is an additional cost, but it's really cheap. It's not expensive. It's like 30 bucks, and it just depends on the publication. And then depending on the service as well, you will get a certificate saying that it was ran for 4 weeks. It needs to be 4 consecutive weeks. Essentially what that's doing is just putting it out there, letting people know that you're running a business in that community, in that area under this name, so that if anyone is thinking about starting a business, they cannot use the name because you're publishing it. So if someone wants to, run a business or do something different, they have to choose something different. So that's essentially what it is. Once those 4 weeks have transpired, then what's going to happen is you'll go back to that publication, and then you would get a receipt, and then you would take that to the same place, and then everything will be good to go, and they'll file it away, and you're good until you have to refile for your fictitious business name again and re-up that application. Now, that's if that is not a part of the services. There are some publications out there where they'll automatically send it off for you, the same way that you get a SMOG. Some places you get the certificate and you have to go down to the DMV, and there's some places that send it automatically over to the DMV. Ask them to see if it's a part of their service where they'll actually send that notification up to the recorder's office. So now that you have your fictitious business name and you got it all published and everything is good, you got the certificate, you're ready to go, it's been ran in the newspaper for 4 consecutive weeks, and on top of that you have your EIN number, you have it printed out, ready to go, hard copied. All you need to do now is you need to pick out and really be diligent on what banking institution that you pick, but just pick the banking institution that works best for where your business is now, but then also can grow with you, because you don't want to have to switch banking institutions 3 to 4 years down into the life of your business. So be smart, think about everything. So if you're going to do e-commerce, if you're going to be accepting payments on the go and Square and all those different things, like, you just want to make sure that that banking institution is actually meeting the needs of your business. And like I said in the video right here, where I do go in depth, a little bit more in depth about getting your bank accounts or choosing a bank, they want your business. They want to use the money that you are depositing to invest in the stock market, things like that. If you don't know that that's what they do, that is what they do. But anyways, I'm saying that to say this: you want them to actually in some way compete for your business, because you can always go to a different banking institution. So you really want to make sure that they are catering to you, you talk to the right people, you build those relationships. So if you have any questions or concerns, or you want me to elaborate on one of these steps, please drop a comment down below. I will respond to you. Also, if you guys like my shirt and you want to rock it out and be proud that you are an entrepreneur, I do have an online store. You can check that out. I'll drop it down in the description below. Also on my website, mykeltheentrepreneur.com/resources. I have tons of resources that you can use right now as a side hustler, from different budgeting tools that you can use, like Excel sheets that are already ready to go, to your balance sheet, your income statement, all those different things. And if you need to know about those individual statements or documents as well, I also have videos on this channel that goes over those forms and those different documents for your business as well. But you can check that out, formation, all those different things. I have everything on my website, so it's all free for download. All that I ask is that you share with someone, just like you share this video. If you know someone that is trying to start a business or they're trying to start their side hustle, they don't know what to do, they don't know where to go, they don't know how to start, just share this video with them. I would greatly appreciate it, and I'll see you guys in the next one.